If you're tired of fees and restrictions and you just feel a little suffocated by your HOA, New Braunfels has some great opportunities for you. We've got everything from downtown where you're well within the city limits to then on the outskirts where you feel like you're way out in the country.
No HOA is becoming a very common request we get around the New Braunfels area. Sometimes it's because the homeowners want the freedom to do whatever they want on their own property, and other times it's because they don't want the added bills of the HOA ongoing or the added costs to that HOAs sometimes get when you have to sell the property. Either way, around our area in New Braunfels, we have a variety of different communities that offer no HOAs.
Okay, let's start off with the east side of 35. So we've got three particular neighborhoods we're thinking of right now. And again, let me start off by saying we're not going to mention every single non-HOA community, but these are just some that we've helped people in that they really enjoyed. So we're going to kick things off with, we've got Walnut Heights, Palace Heights, and Sungate neighborhoods. So they are similar, but then one of them's a little bit different. So with Palace Heights and Walnut Heights, thank you, those two typically have homes that were built within the 90s, early 2000 timeframe, maybe a little bit older for Palace Heights. They have room to upgrade them. So typically you're going to get a house that looks pretty good. It's very, very livable, very doable, but there's also room to add some nice upgrades in it while you're there and have a great return on your investment whenever you go to sell it. So I like these neighborhoods because they're close to downtown. They're in a great location. As New Braunfels continues to grow outward, these are still very close proximity to all of the fun amenities, the reasons why people move here. So great locations. And then you've got Sungate, and some of those were built in the early 2000s, but then you've also got some that were built as late as 2017, 2018. So one of our clients actually built a brand new home over there at that time, and they were with Summit Oak Builders, who now builds out off 306 in River Chase area. So for them to build in that location was pretty rare at that time. So I like that they have a variety. All right, so now we're kicking it over to a different side of town off of 306. So very highly desirable area over here. And we have quite a few neighborhoods without HOAs, but some of the ones I'm going to mention today are Country Hills, Royal Forest, Greenhaven, and Oak Grove. All right, so let's kick things off with Country Hills. So price ranges in here around $300,000 to $600,000, highly depend on how much the home has been updated. Homes in here were built in like the 90s time frame. They range in sizes as well. Lot sizes here are all over half an acre, which is really nice. And the homes here, again, kind of like some of the previous ones mentioned, are a little bit dated typically, but it's nice because you can get in at a great price and then have room in your budget to upgrade it and then have a really good resale value later on. Next up, we're going to chat about Royal Forest. So this one is unique because not only do you have a no HOA community here, you also don't have any deed restrictions. So something I need to mention to keep in mind is a lot of these neighborhoods, yes, they don't have an HOA, but you have to dig deeper with the title company and see if they have any deed restrictions. For example, another neighborhood close by, we have a client that wanted to do an Airbnb. They wanted to actually also have a wedding venue. They wanted to do a lot of really cool things on their property. They couldn't do it next door because that neighborhood has deed restrictions. It didn't have an HOA, but it did have deed restrictions. So always got to double check that. But Royal Forest actually doesn't have either, which is so cool. So you could have horses, you could do an Airbnb and short-term rental, you could have a wedding venue out there. So a great opportunity. Price ranges definitely vary here because the acreage does too. We see anything from 2 acres to 15 acres. There's one on the market right now for 13 acres that I would love to buy and just has so much room for opportunity there. Now, the homes itself, you're gonna see everything because there's no deed restrictions, no HOA, from manufactured homes to brand new homes that have just been built because people have sought after the land more than anything else. So great opportunity to get creative out in Royal Forest. Also a really cool location. It's off of Purgatory Road. So you go down 306 and then go off Purgatory. And then that way you're still pretty far away from New Braunfels downtown itself. It takes about 20 minutes. And it's funny, when I say that's far away, most people from other states think that that's really close. So it's all dependent on perspective. But it's a great location. You're also really close to Canyon Lake too. Next up, we have Greenhaven. So also off of 306. Now the homes here are unique and different than the previous ones mentioned because they were all built around the time frame of 2010 to 2015. And most of them were built by the same builder, by Tree Homes, who is a great builder, by the way. But that being said, you drive through it and it's a completely different feel than something like Royal Forest down the road, where you had complete freedom there. You still have freedom here without the HOA, but because all of the homes were built by the same builder and around the same time frame, you're looking at pretty similar homes. It honestly feels like there's an HOA there, which a lot of people desire. You know, they want the freedom to do what they want, but they don't want someone to go too far with it, if you know what I mean. I've had some clients that appreciate an HOA just because they know with a little bit more confidence that the landscaping, that the home itself, everything will be more taken care of. Maybe cars not parked everywhere. You won't have those manufactured homes, things like that. So this one in particular feels like there's an HOA, but there's not one. Okay, last step off 306, we've got Oak Grove. So here your price ranges are between $325 and around $650. And again, this also depends on how much the homes have been updated. Most of these were built between the 80s and 90s. So you can imagine they've got some really unique layouts, some more desirable than others. I could see people purchasing this again for the price tag. Also still, usually most of the communities off of 306 are outside city limits. So you've also got low taxes over there, which is nice. But yeah, getting in there at that price tag, making the updates you want, and then either holding on to it for quite some time or reselling it in a few years. All right, next up, we are going to head across town to 46 West, headed more towards Spring Branch area. First community on our list here is called Northwoods. I really like this one. I've had clients who have specifically requested it before. Homes don't come on the market as often here as they might in some of the others. You've typically got, from the name, you can guess it has more of a woodsy feel to it. And the price range is $550 to $750 in here with the most recent sales. A lot of times people come in and purchase these because of the lot size. Most of them are over an acre in lot size, and then they'll do awesome things like add a pool, make cool updates to it. And if you buy over there, a lot of people do it long term because again, they don't come for sale as often as some of the others. Next up, we've got Mission Valley Estates. We've actually mentioned this one in a previous video because we like it so much. But this one, instead of being off of 46, it's actually tucked away off of 1863. So it's just a little bit more removed. You've got a little bit more privacy. And the homes range in price from $400,000 to $700,000. There's actually one on the market right now that would be fantastic. We get this request a lot. It's for something that you can do multi-generational living on, and there's one right now. So if you need details on that one, feel free to send us a message. But I like this location because you're tucked away, but you're still close to everything as well. You're 15 minutes from downtown, 10 minutes from HEB, go to Chick-fil-A, you know, all the necessities. Next up, we're gonna transition and go downtown New Braunfels. So downtown is special, and you might be able to guess why, because of the character. You have got such a variety here of properties, most of them being a craftsman style. But sometimes people will purchase the home, fix it up. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll move into it, keep it original. And then other times people will purchase a fixer-upper, knock it completely down, and then rebuild. Keep in mind, you are within city limits, so you do have a little bit of rules when it comes to the city and what you can do with them. Like the other ones mentioned, most of those are outside city limits, but remember, this one is downtown New Braunfels, so you've got a little more hoops to jump through. That being said, if that is your style, a lot of times it's worth it. Now we're going to go up the hill from downtown New Braunfels, and this is literally called The Hill, and it is one of the most desirable areas in town. So whenever we have a listing, whenever any realtor has a listing and it is on the hill, they make sure to put that in capital letters, that it is on the hill. So we've got a variety of neighborhoods on the hill, but three that I'm gonna mention today are Oakwood Estates, Oak Cliff Estates, and Mission Oaks. Mission Oaks houses one of my favorite homes that we've ever sold. So the now owner is an interior designer. So she bought this home. It reminded me of the Brady Bunch house. I don't know why, it just had that retro vibe to it. So she bought it, turned it into something so special, but she bought it for the location and the no HOA. It's so nice that she could paint her front door turquoise, I think she painted it, and she didn't have to ask anybody. That's what's cool about not having an HOA. So she's done so many updates to her home, and it looks phenomenal. It was so cool that she ended up with a house in the Detour of Homes, which is a really cool tradition here in our area where if your home has character, you get to submit it to go on a property tour throughout the area. It's really fun. Wood estates, I love because you've got a variety here. You have everything from garden homes to homes that are over 3,600 square feet, and they are selling anywhere from 400,000 to upwards of $1 million. And then we've got Oak Cliff Estates. So Oak Cliff Estates is kind of a cottagey neighborhood feel. It's very tucked away, but still on the hill. And from what I've heard from the residents and the people who have lived here and then since sold for various reasons, they say this community is so underrated. They love it so much, and sometimes the price tag shows it, but it's one of those things, if you know, you know. It's one of the best streets in town. It's got seclusion, it's got tranquility. You are just a hop, skip, and a jump away from land to park. So nice. So if Drake's gonna pick somewhere to live in New Braunfels, I can tell you this, it's either gonna be on the hill or it's gonna be
down in green in the Cypress Rapids neighborhood. This neighborhood is like my go-to right now. Not only because my best friend lives down there, but it is walkable distance down to Green Hall and Mosey's. It has the perfect feel of tall trees, has a creek running through it, just very serene, peaceful, but also if you want the party, it's right there.
Now it does have a voluntary HOA.
But let's be real, voluntary, you can volunteer to pay for them, but you know, that's up to you. Again, guys, we are Drake and Michelle Carter with the Carter team at Keller Williams Heritage. We're your local guides to everything New Braunfels and Central Texas. We're not only realtors in the area, but like I said, your local guides. And so if you're needing tips, tricks, the ins and outs of everything New Braunfels, reach out to us because we have something prepared for you.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we know to make more videos.